you how thrilled I am to have this entire group of people here together. We have teachers, we have students, we have parents, we have community members, we have people who are involved in our communities and our schools at all levels, coming together to have a fun learning experience here in New York and then bring back ideas to Vermont.
I got to visit the Vanguard School, and it seemed like all of the students and teachers were on the same page with what they were doing, how they were learning, what they were learning, and and just their culture, like how they were going to go about treating each other. And it was just exceptional. And I'm not entirely sure how they got there, but that's the place where we need to be.
I went to the Vanguard School first, and I really enjoyed that visit there. I mean, they were just focused, the students worked hard. It seemed like this family atmosphere. They were all very helpful to each other. It was quiet. I mean, maybe that's because they were working for their presentations, but it was definitely a very different atmosphere than we have at our school, and I would love to be able to copy that one. So the students really are as respectful to each other and everybody else, and the learning that was going on was just really neat. I mean, I saw the writing, and even the lower grade levels that are not working for their presentations, they were pretty focused. It was a little bit more lively in the classrooms, which was okay, but I would like to see something similar like this in our schools.
When I went from classroom to classroom, I saw very similar practices being used by teachers. For example, they could be simple little practices, but in one school, every single classroom had tables, and there was an expectation that students would sit around tables and work collaboratively and cooperatively, and they knew their roles and how to discuss things with each other. And there was an expectation for accountable talk, and that alone can really help children.
Basically what they have is a setup where teachers have the time to collaborate with each other and teach their classes. There's not that many classes they offer, but they offer depth in their classes. Students have a variety of choice, not as much as the high school, but really all it is they focus on proficiencies. They say, when you're ready, you graduate, not when you've had your 4 years, you graduate. And the kids seemed to have really bought in. They were, they all knew what they needed to do to graduate. They all knew the steps they needed to take to get there. And then everyone seemed to be doing it together.
I liked the real focus on language and learning science and social studies through the classroom. Students were doing some really interesting work. Big focus on presentations. You can't just write about it, you have to talk about it. And back up your ideas with research and a lot of analysis.
Well, I went to Urban Academy, and I heard from a student who gave our whole tour, and she said that when she came to Urban Academy, she was shy, and you would never believe it, and she just impressed everybody. And one of her quotes was, "Urban Academy taught me to be an intellectual. I learned to fight with words and not fists."
The thing that struck me about the Urban Academy, one of the things was the teacher ownership, the teacher's passion about what they were doing, and that there wasn't a sequence of classes from grade 9, 10, 11, 12. Students took any class they wanted. Every year the teachers decided what classes were going to be offered based upon the interest of students and their own passions. So if a student happened not to be successful in one class one year, he didn't repeat the class next year. He didn't get credit for it. But the next year he was taking a totally different class that was teaching the same set of skills. And so that in and of itself was like a fascinating opportunity.
Most of their classes are, project and real world, activities, and student choice.
I really like a school that's only for ELL students who the teachers, the classes are a challenge for them. It was really welcoming, and it looked like the kids really loved there and they belonged there, and they could understand where everyone was coming from, and to be in an environment where everyone understands you is really someplace I want to be in.
We were in one senior English high school class where they were having a student-led discussion, and one of the teachers in our room said after 5 minutes, that young girl who's leading the class isn't a student teacher, that's actually a student. So that was lovely. 4 or 5 years ago, none of these kids were speaking English. And so I came away with that thinking, how could we do something like that here? Because the impact that it was having on these new American kids who were all going to college was amazing.
I thought that the high school that we visited was really nice because they had individualized programs for each student, and they were working on mostly one-on-one. They were using technology, and most of the things that they were doing was hands-on that would be used in their real life. So I think that is something we can take to our school community.
Everyone seemed to be doing it together. NYC's small, we can do that. We're interested in proficiency, we want to do that. We can build a relationship so we can do those steps with those kids over 4 years. It can happen.